你好. How do you ask how much something is when you're shopping in a Chinese-speaking country? How do you tell your friends about the good deal you've got? That's what we're gonna learn today. Let's get started. A book is 书, 书. One book is 一本书, 一本书. The measure word is 本. How about two books? 两本书. 两本书. I always nag my students about counting two items because of the variation. 两本书. When we want to specify this book, we'll use 这. 这. 这本书 means this book. We keep the measure word and only replacing 一 with 这. 这本书. 这本书. 这 refers to both singular and plural things. How to say these two books? 这两本书. 这两本书. Please note that 这 has two variations of pronunciation. The official one is 这, but oftentimes in conversations, people say J, which sounds a little like the English letter J. You'll see me switch between these two variations in my lessons to help you get used to both. Now let's talk about the price of this book. 这本书. It says 58 on the back. How to say 58 in Chinese? We've only learned how to read single-digit numbers so far. How to read a double-digit number? We start by reading the number in the tens place. In this case, 五, 五. Then we need to acknowledge that it's in the tens place, and we do that by appending 十 after it. 十 literally means 10. Lastly, we read the number in the ones place, which is 八 in this case. 八. Together we got 58. 58. Let's try a couple of more examples. 43 is 43. 43. 99 is 99. 99. There is an exception though. The number 10 is 十 instead of 一十. However, if it's a three-digit or larger number and 110 happen to be the last two digits, they're read as 一十 in that case. We'll get to that in another video. For now, 10 is 十. How to say this book is 58? 这本书58. 这本书58. This is sufficient in a casual conversation with friends. Sometimes we might want to be a little more formal and attach a unit to the number. The unit on the book says 元, and that's the Chinese currency unit. By the way, the name of the currency used in China is called RMB, which comes from the pinyin initials of 人民币. 人民币. 人民 means people, and 币 means paper bills. The unit of 人民币is 元. How do we use 元 in a formal sentence? We append it to the price. 这本书58元. 这本书58元. Note that you don't need a 是 here. 这本书58元 is all you need. A more colloquial version of yuan is 块, which is also a word for the currency unit. 块 literally means chunks. In everyday conversation, I'm more likely to say 这本书58块. 这本书58块. The last thing we're going to learn today is to ask how much something is. In our previous lesson, we learned 多少 as the question word of how many. In the context of asking about the price of something, we still use 多少, but append another word 钱 at the end. 钱 literally means money. 多少钱 means how much in the context of asking about the price. When you're asking about how much milk you should add to the cake recipe, it's still 多少. To use 多少钱 in the question, we simply replace the answer with it. How much is this book? Literally, you'll be saying, this book, how much? 这本书多少钱? 这本书 多少钱? In case you don't know the Chinese word for something, you could simply point and ask, how much is this? That's the easy way out in most cases. Literally, you'll be saying, this how much? 这个多少钱?这个多少钱? That's it for today. I have some practice sentences for you. What do these sentences mean? Number one, 这瓶水多少钱?这瓶水多少钱? Number two, 他哥哥没有钱。他哥哥没有钱。Number three, 我的包79元。我的包79元。Hope you like this lesson. See you in the next one. 谢谢，再见。